everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays Crusader Kings 2 with King Northernlion the First. If you need a recap on the last episode, a cliff notes if you will, we introduced ourselves and our traits. We are now a 28-year-old, which means we had a 4-year episode in the last video. We went to war with East Anglia and Northumberland. Actually, we kind of inherited those wars or started with them, and we won pretty handedly. So we got this territory here. We got this territory here, and we also, at the end of the video, had our firstborn son, who is now the mayor of Barry. And that's got to be pretty shitty, right, if you're in that town. You know, the mayor is literally a 0-year-old, but he's also the son of the king, and it's 867 or 871, so if you're like, hey, maybe we shouldn't have a baby mayor, then they just cut off your head or something. So, as mentioned, my major ambition right now is to become the King of Scotland, in case you're geographically a little unaware. Scotland is this territory right here, and as mentioned, we really only need to take about half. If we take, like, Athol, Buchan, again, pronunciation apologies, Gowrie, Strathcairn, and whatever this territory is right here, Fife, we should be able to form the Kingdom of Scotland. We might have to take this stuff as well from the petty Kingdom of Strathcairn, or whatever it's called. Strathclyde, sorry. And then we can form the Kingdom of Scotland and fulfill that ambition and get an F-ton of prestige. I assume it's an F-ton of prestige anyway. I can't really see. But first, before we do that, we can always go to war anytime we want. Why don't we show off some of the cool stuff that you can do as a pagan in the Old God, specifically this DLC. So one thing we can do, for example, is commission a runestone or hold a great blot. So we have a number of prisoners here. Do we have any female prisoners? I know that might sound a little suspect, but that might be a good idea to do something there. When does the great blot take place? It has to be after November. All right, so why don't we start with just commissioning a runestone first? So if we commission a runestone, this will cost us 100 gold, but at the same time, it will give us prestige. So let's do it. Basically, a runestone is going to be like a commemoration to us, or to our parents, or to our realm, basically. So we're going to commission a runestone, and it will speak of us. The artisans who will carve and paint the runestones you are asking for instructions. Which of your qualities should it speak of? It should speak of summer fields, moonlight nights, and, or it will mention my greatness, the epic deeds I have performed, and let's go with why not an honor to my greatness? I want that to live forever, as opposed to the summer fields and moonlight nights. By the way, every time you hear a ding, you'll just hear, like, see something going on down here. So we'll just let this go through, and then we'll do a blot. The runestone should be done very, very quickly. And basically, I'm just waiting on November to come. Not that this is a Green Day song or anything. So the Hungarians are now settled in Hungary. Don't worry about that too much. And then I'm going to hold a great blot, and then we will start invading people left, right, and center. So the stone is raised. The runestone you commissioned has been finished and raised on the spot you chose for it. It says, Northernlion the Great, who was the favored son of blank and blank, I guess because we used ruler designer, raised the stone to honor the legacy of his famous deeds in the world of men. No one was his equal. Oh, that's sweet, you guys. You didn't have to say that. Anyway, we get 300 prestige, plus other effects like our diplomacy is better, which means it's easier for us to deal with enemies or, you know, friends too. And general opinion is plus 10, which means everybody gets a little bit more pleased with us. So it was expensive, but look at that prestige, man. That's pretty fat right now. And then once, I'm just going to speed it up a little bit more, but once it becomes November 1st, ideally, it's like stopping gas on the 0. There we go, November 1st. We will hold a great blot. Now, this is one way to deal with prisoners. It's going to cost us some gold, and gold is, you know, fast becoming a precious resource, especially if we need those mercenaries to invade this territory right here. Oh, Scotland, or what is soon to be known as former Scotland, I guess. Yeah, we're going to hold a great blot, which basically allows us to sacrifice prisoners to the gods to gain piety and basically favor with people in our realm. And this is a good idea because vassals, if we look at right now, might not be super pleased with us. They're not super pissed either, but this guy's looking a little angry. But this is just mostly to show off what you can do in the game. So we're going to hold a great blot. You have sent out summons to all of your vassals for the blot, and we have a fair few number of vassals. Those who have been baptized or profess to follow the teachings of the prophet will have to offer gold to be exempted from this magnificent feast, which basically means if you're Christian, you either have to come or you have to give us gold. So we're going to let some more time go by and see what happens there. Sometimes they will refuse. The guests have arrived and the time has come for the blot to begin. You gather outside the temple and start by offering animals while their meat is prepared for the feast that is to follow. The blood is sprinkled on the statues of Odin, Thor, Freyr, and the other gods, as well as on the worshippers themselves. Now for the sacrifice. All right, here we go. Answart is brought up from your dungeons and escorted. As the noose is placed around his neck, he steadies himself and murmurs several passages you recognize as being from the Christian Holy Book. Where is your blessed virgin now, Anarod? Anyway, every time we assassinate a prisoner, or, well, not assassinate, I guess execute a prisoner, we're going to get 50 prestige and 25 piety, which is awesome. That's actually really good. It's a good way to get prestige if you need it. So, you know, everyone's going to say basically the same thing. We're going to sacrifice all these dudes that we took kind of for free in the sieges, and now the feast is over. Or sorry, now the feast has begun, but the sacrifice is over. But this is like if you look at the timeline of the game, it's like an 80-day party, basically, for human sacrifice here. Now the feast is over. We get more prestige, and our morale for the armies is much higher. Basically, everybody's super pleased with us, and, you know, we got a lot of prestige. Cost us some money, but hey, you know, you can't take money with you when you go, but you can take, you know, this amazing favor that we have kind of curried with the gods. All right, so those are two of the kind of cool things you can do new to the old gods as a pagan tribe. Let's conquer some more land, shall we? So the way I see it, we have three major possibilities. We could conquer Scotland, which is what I'm going to do. Which is good because, you know, if we get up here to the north of the peninsula and we conquer all of this, then we don't have to worry about these guys being assholes in case we want to conquer Ireland or even more of what will eventually become England. We could also go for Strathclyde here, which is going to be a super easy fight, but we can wait on that for a while and probably steamroll them later. Or we could go conquer Ireland, which is something that I'll probably do after I conquer Scotland and Strathclyde. Anyway, one thing that I should still probably marry, but now that we have kids, it doesn't really bother me that much that we're not married. What can I say? I just wanted someone to pal around with, and now we have that in Northernlion the Second. What's cool about the pagans is normally in Crusader Kings 2, you gotta kind of finagle your way into wars. In fact, this is a good time to do something with our councils. So you might want to use your chancellor, for example, to fabricate a claim. So you have to go through all this political intrigue and, you know, backstabbing to eventually be like, finally, I have a claim on this land and can rightfully invade you. Fuck that, man. As pagans, we can invade whoever we want, but let's just have him improve diplomatic relations with, you know, this dude down here. And what I'm doing with these guys is not really important. Basically, they're just going to give me technology points, and I'll be able to use this technology to improve myself over time. I'm also going to try to convert some of our probably Christian heathens down here so that they will become Norse or pagan, and then good, basically. The less religious strife that there is, the less odds of civil war, and civil war will become a major issue, especially after King Northernlion I dies, assuming he's not badass enough to be immortal. All right, let's get to the good stuff now, the war. So maybe we start and we say, I want to take the territory of Fife. It's good. It would allow us to kind of extend the bounds of our realm as opposed to taking like a Buchan or something over here, which is going to segregate like my entire population. So I want to take like Ross or Moray or Atholl or Strathern or Fife. Fife seems like a fairly decent option for me because it allows me to get a Gowrie, which is the capital right now, I believe. So we're going to look at this guy. We can't declare war on him, but we can declare war on King Constantine. I think we're going to be strong enough to do this, but just in case, I'm not saying, you know, I'm probably not going to ever abuse the saving feature here, but we're going to go Northernlion War for Scotland. There's always auto-saves once a year, but I like to do this just in case things go wrong. We can always go back. Over the course of this Let's Play, I probably won't, but it's a force of habit, what can I say? So, again, we've got King Constantine I of Scotland, and we will declare war, and we can basically declare war on any coastal province we want, as well as any province that only has one border with another province. So since this is a coastal province, we can declare war on it with no problem. I think we can also, if we want, like we can declare war on any Scottish province because we have the casus belli of basically wanting to conquer Scotland. Anyway, Fife. We'll click on it. We can see what happens. If we win, we get the county of Fife. We get +1 moral authority for Norse. If we lose prestige. Big deal. So, I have now declared war. Now, this is going to be a more traditional war. We have these men from our pre-invasion force, but then I'm going to also raise my existing armies from across the lands, and I'm going to try to group them up in such a way that hopefully I'll be able to have two decently sized armies. Is everybody going to Galloway? Yes, okay. So we're going to have our main fighting force, which is going to be... oh, I probably have men. Yeah, I've got a sizable contingent of men down here, actually. So yeah, I've got my main army, which is going to be consisting of these mercenary, or this pre-invasion force here. And actually, you know what? Now that we've already got kind of a battle starting, I'm just going to pour all of my men into this territory right here. Because if we can decimate their army in one fell swoop, then that's beautiful for me. In fact, my men actually won that invasion despite being grossly underpowered. All right, we've got to do a little bit of, not really micro, that's not really the right word, but a little bit of planning here to make sure that I've got, I'm not just sending my men to die, effectively. Jorvik is doing something as well. I'm not sure. They're probably at war with somebody in the south. So let's look at this for a second. Maybe we want to go invade this guy. Tyrone's got some stuff going on down there. Sure, let's just keep moving on. Basically, I'm going to let some of these battles finish so that it simplifies the screen a little bit. Why am I at war with Strathclyde? I guess they must be an ally of... Oh, we're going to lose that territory, sadly. I don't think you should go invade there anymore. I think you should come down here. I'm going to wipe out Strathclyde real quick so that I don't have to deal with them, even though I did just lose that battle there. This is the decision for the best, I think. You want to wipe out the smaller allies first, in my experience at least, because it means, you know, less kind of bullshit coming for you a little bit later. Keep in mind we have, you know, another 900 men coming from over here, so we definitely outnumber the Scottish forces. We're already winning the war, but really we're just going to wipe out their big army here, and once this army is wiped out, they should... Oh, yeah, they're not going to be able to get away from this. Once we wipe out their... Oh, they are able to get away from that. Once we wipe out their big army, it should be very unlikely for them to kill us. Although this guy actually pulled the wool over my eyes and managed to get a good fight going on down here. But it still might be possible for me to get down there before my troops lose, in which case I will reinforce them, and it should be difficult for them to get back from that. Anyway, it was mismanaged. There's no question about that. I mismanaged that fight a little bit. And as a result, we might end up kind of running around like a chicken with our head cut off for a while. But that's okay. There we go. We finally managed to engage them. Might as well send these extra 295 men in here as if it's going to matter. Now we have a 30% war score already. And we might as well do one last battle here. It's not always the best course of action, by the way, to keep like a huge fighting force all together, because you can get attrition, which basically means that, you know, you have too many men for a province to support. So unfortunately, you know, some of your men will die of disease or hunger or what have you. Now, we have a dangerous faction showing up in our realm here. So our vassal, this isn't our spy master, is it? No, what did I give him? He's the sidesman of Lothian and Teviotdale. So I gave him like this territory here. He wants independence for his realms. How much does he have from the faction support here? 30.2% of men. I would rather this dude didn't do that, so I wonder if I can like grant him a title or something, like an honorary title. How about a Herdman? That'll improve his standing in the realm, and hopefully, as a result of this, he will be less likely to continue. Basically, factions are going to be what causes this civil war, or civil war in the game, I should say. So I really want to keep these guys happy. Or, at the very least, if I can't keep them happy, then I want to put them in jail, basically. But putting them in jail, again, gives us the risk that eventually we will have to, or like if our attempt to imprison them fails, they'll rise up in arms, and as a result, then we will have to engage them in civil war. So I don't want to fight two wars at the same time, especially since some of the men that he would use to fight me would inevitably come from my army. So instead, I'm going to try to keep him happy for now, and then maybe we'll deal with that after we've conquered the territory of Fife here. By the way, I'm showing like everything that we're doing right now. And I know I said last episode we'd start adding in some editing at some point, but I'm showing everything I'm doing right now just because it's repeatable, so later I can use editing, and you know, we won't have to show off every single province I take in Scotland. Instead, I'll edit it out and be like, here's what happened, here's what's interesting. We own 80% of Scotland now, basically. Just to keep things moving. Otherwise, this will be like a 70-hour Let's Play or something. King Ivar the Boneless has died, unfortunately, so we'll appoint somebody with a good martial stat there. This guy, it seems like he's got it going on. Let's research some technology here. Why not? And give us some technology points, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Kind of like the tech tree in Civ or something like that. We're at 45% war score. That's not fantastic, but it's moving up. This is not really gaining too much in the in the strength of the liege. So we should be able to, by taking this territory, maybe by sieging one last county, we should be able to win, and then maybe deal with that as it comes. By the way, yeah, each one of the sieges progressively gets easier and easier as you siege the remaining holdings of a city, which is totally fine by me, because I would love time to go a little bit faster, because Civil War scares the shit out of me. And we might want to do one more, but he might actually accept our demands in this situation. Yeah, he will. Beautiful. Okay. So there we go. Once he accepts this or denies it, as we'll see in a few days, he's offered us some kind of peace here. Yes, okay. So he's usurped the title of City of Dunfermline from Magnus, and we've got the County of Fife, and we've won. Beautiful. So this guy's not too happy with us, but that's okay. So again, our domain size is too large, but we can kind of compensate for this by giving our son the temple and maybe the city as well. Like so. And then we just got one more to give away. And I'm just looking at our factions here. Man, this guy's getting stronger. What are our odds of successful imprisonment? 53%. Let me think about this for a second. Do we have prisoners? We have no prisoners. We have a known plot. Who's he trying to kill? Heir to the county of man. Okay, not important. If he dies, he dies. Are there any plots we could use here? Yes. This guy's being kind of an asshole. I wonder if we could revoke this. And perhaps, is anybody into this? Basically, the way that intrigue works is that you want to... so we're going to try to revoke, basically, this guy's... Oh, did I accidentally give, like, a Christian, like, the guy who turned Christian in our realm a bunch of territory? If so, that's me being a big willy-nilly there. But what I want to do is get, like, as many people as possible to join my plot to revoke his title. When his lands are revoked, he won't have any men to basically rise up and attack. So it's kind of a better way of going about things, a nicer way of going about things than simply trying to imprison him and then execute him to end his plot. A smoother way in all hopefulness. So we're going to see if somebody's going to join. He did indeed. So now that we're over 100%, we do have the option to possibly revoke his county here, or revoke his his territory here. So we're gonna try it. He's gonna get a letter, and we'll see what happens here. He might rise up in civil war, in which case we may have to hire some mercenaries, or he might just give it to us. Let's see. Your shameful attempt at blackmail has not succeeded. Fuck! I was really hoping it would. No matter how many corrupted souls you have enticed to help carry out your plan, I will not give in without a fight. What is rightfully mine is mine. So, surprisingly, we're kind of getting into some civil war here, which I'm not happy about. I'm pretty scared about fighting this dude who's wearing, like, a beaver carcass on his head. But he has no children. So if he dies, he doesn't have an heir. I guess I inherit all his territory, and then maybe I can give much of it to my son. I think it's the right decision to go to war. This is potentially really damaging. He's going to have 1,000 men, at least. So you can see, like, his territory right here. It's just these two provinces. So if we can, like, decimate his army right off the bat... actually, he has about 1,000 men, but we're going to be able to wipe out a lot of them right off the bat here. With very limited consequences myself. This civil war should go well, so this is a pretty good introduction. And again, I apologize that things have been moving fairly slowly, but it's good. There's been a lot of shit happening as a result. There's also something's going on in Jorvik here. It looks like there's maybe a Cumberland civil war for independence or something like that. And, you know, here's the thing. There's two ways to win a war. You can either hold a shit ton of the enemy's territory, or you can kill all of their armies, basically, and that's going to make things easy enough for us. So I don't actually believe that there are... any troops left in this independence movement. So basically, we are just going to speed time up here and siege like crazy. By the way, yes, I understand that I have more holdings than I should, and that's going to piss off my vassals, which is what leads to things like the Civil War in the first place. But that's the problem with being a petty king. This is why we need to conquer Scotland, so we can get like a higher domain size, hopefully. We could also just improve our stewardship, which I guess would do that as well. Anyway, this guy probably won't give up until like 80 or 90 war score, if I had to guess, but... we'll see. We're at 78 already. Offer peace, enforce demands, yes. And also, we should imprison him, I think. He might become our prisoner if we accept this. We'll see. He's going to answer in 8 days. He's offered us some kind of peace. Maybe it's even better. We'll decline his peace, and he'll probably accept ours. Beautiful. All right, that actually went really well. He's super not happy with us, but that doesn't really bother me. And we've conquered this territory, and now we should try to give it to our... son, if we can, because obviously our domain size is we own too much territory, basically. But we can't give our own son counties, so instead I'm gonna have to like create another vassal here. I've been giving so much land to our spy master that scares the shit out of me. What about the mayor of Edinburgh? He's 33, he's got no wife, no kids. That's what I like to see. So we're gonna go to diplomacy. Also, he doesn't like us, which is great because now we can give him some territory, and maybe he will start to like us. Well, he likes us a little bit more. We'll give him the county of Fife as well. There you go. So now everything's copacetic again, and we can get back to what matters, which is basically invading Scotland. Let's lower our military levies, because we can't declare war with military levies raised, and maybe we can get ready for a second war here. By the way, we do have righteous imprisonment, so we can try to imprison this dude who is kind of a dick to us. We should probably do that, but imprisonment is always a dice roll, so things could go well for us, or it could go terribly. But no one's going to care if we do it, and we have a 56% chance, so we should try it. My guards failed to capture Kettle, who has now raised his flag in rebellion. Fuck, again, man? Well, you know, to finally kill him is a small price to pay. We're going to siege his territory, which is almost already dead. since we just took it over. We're already at 33% war score. The problem is, why would you do that, man? Just go to prison. Now so many people in your land are going to die because of your selfishness. There is an independence faction, unfortunately, that is founded in Fife and Lothian. So this is just like fucking nonsense territory, man. Everybody here wants independence, but they're not going to get it. I will crush them under my boot if necessary. This has been a period of more civil strife than I would have originally anticipated, but pretty soon, I mean, I could just go for a white peace and then go after Scotland again, but I want to take care of this, you know, this rot where it lives. So what is this guy? This guy's got 13%. You're happy. Just be happy with your territory. You don't need to be your own country, man. I'm ruling you in a very benevolent fashion, I would say at least. That's my expectation so far. I'm trying to be a good king, and you're making it very difficult. Don't just tell the dude at the hospital that you fell down the stairs, Lord Mayor Male Petrick of Fife, when I beat your ass silly with my 2,000 men still remaining from this, like, pre-invasion force from 8 years ago. Anyway, in a second, Jorvik is winning their civil war here, by the way. I feel like me and Jorvik, we're like, you know, kind of buddies here. We're going through the same shit, you know? So this is taking a while. That's okay. Civil war occasionally, we have issues. I don't know what happened there. I guess our marshal died, which is a shame because he was a good marshal. So we'll appoint, we've got no shortage of military geniuses here. He might have died in the siege, actually, which is unfortunate. Please tell me this is the last siege we have to do, because that took fucking forever. Will he accept our demands now? Yes, alright, good. So now we imprison him. We could sacrifice him to the gods later. We could ransom him off for money. Well, he has to accept first, which he will. Good, okay. That was a real pain in the ass, wasn't it? Let's look at what's going on here. We can still create some titles if we want to, but I don't think that's really necessary. I think instead we should maybe push back into Scotland and try to take maybe Gowrie. The problem is that, you know, during that time we've been fighting, the enemy has probably had a good opportunity to kind of raise its troops. How many troops do we have now? About 2,200 plus the pre-invasion force. I'm okay with that. So you know what? Again, the cool thing about pagans is actually, as time goes on, if you don't declare war, you actually lose money. Whoa. Declare war on a character, breaking the truce, which is going on for another 4 years, would cost you 1,458 prestige and lower all Christian rulers' opinions of you by 25. Oh, that's totally my bad. So if you don't have 100 war score, you actually make a truce with them that lasts for like 5 years. So we're going to have to adjust our plans here. Instead, why don't we take over Strathoclyde. Again, apologies for inevitably terrible pronunciation. So instead, we will try to conquer, I guess I want Clydesdale first. And we'll see who comes to his aid. I hope nobody. And again, we should basically steamroll these guys. So unless something truly remarkable happens, I am probably just going to use some editing here and cut it when I've taken over the province, or maybe a couple of provinces. So I will see you guys with the power of editing in a little bit. Well, alright, our first siege here is basically over. The problem is I don't necessarily want to accept this peace deal that he's offering me. I might want to get to 100% war score first, again, because I don't know if that actually requires a truce. But maybe we'll just accept it right here, because we've actually had a number of things happen that worry me a little bit. So, you know, for now, we'll accept it. We can always wage war on other people and just take random coastal provinces as time goes on. But sure, let's accept for now. And we have usurped the title of Glasgow. And a bunch of other stuff here, because we have conquered Clydesdale. This guy might, at this point, be like, come on, dude, just, like, I can't vassalize him because he's still the same level as me. So first things first. We have to give away some territory, which inevitably is going to require us to make another vassal fairly powerful, which scares the shit out of me. But first thing first, let's grant this guy a city and the lower titles, and we'll grant him our temple. So the reason I'm doing this is basically to make sure that this son, nobody F's with him once I die, because I really want him to be the consolidation of all the power. I'm not sure if this is actually working out this well. We might want to change our laws if possible, but we actually can't seem to change our succession laws, which scares me. But in any case, we want to give one more territory away. Who have we not given much to? What about, we can't give anything to Grima. Does this guy have a kid? No, this guy has no kids. All right, beautiful. Who's his heir? It's the Spy Master of Teviotdale. Is this guy, he's a seedsman. I don't know what that is. In any case, we're going to grant him a landed title. You can take the county of Clydesdale. Beautiful. Okay. Now, what else happened? You might have noticed these gears up here at the top. Basically, we had a prompt that was like, hey, you've been spying on somebody, so you get some technology points. We can use those technology points to invest in something. Here we have economic advances, so we can invest in our castle infrastructure, town infrastructure, construction, etc., etc. This will affect how we build things, or the speed at which we build things, or the amount of money we get from a province. So I'm going to bump up our town infrastructure here and our castle infrastructure in the hopes that we will get now more money from provinces, which will speed us up when it comes to gaining more money, which is really, really important for us. I also can increase noble customs, which I guess improves our vassals' opinions of us, and I can improve shipbuilding, which causes us to build ships faster, which I have not used at all because I hate dealing with the Navy. Now, we have dangerous factions again. This Scumlord, again, wants to declare independence, which is in Lothian again. Now, despite the fact that I'm the greatest king of all time and a beautiful, benevolent leader, I'm unfortunately going to have to try to revoke his... Can I even? Who is this guy? Let's go to factions for a second. Lord Mayor Male Patrake of Fife. That was the guy who was pissed off. Is he here? Yeah, there he is. Okay, revoke the Grand City of Fife. We already have 75%, but we can get a lot of people on board here, so we're going to invite as many people as possible to join this plot, because the idea of going to civil war over this again scares the shit out of me. Obviously, it didn't work out too well for us last time. Well, I mean, it worked out, but it was kind of a pain in the ass. This is something you always have to deal with in Crusader Kings. Crusader Kings 2, at least, I can't speak for the first one, is people in your realm not being happy with you, and partly that's because I've been mismanaging things a little bit, but, this will probably take us to roughly the end of this episode. I understand this has been a fairly slow one, but at the same time, we're going to just let more people accept our plot here so that we get the plot power a little bit higher. Good. I think that's everybody. So now our plot power is at like 180, so let's try to revoke it. I really don't want to have to fight you again. Good. He just let it go without a fight. Fantastic. So he's not going to be too happy with us, but we now have to give away one more territory. I hate doing this, man. But maybe we have like a dude who's just in our court who likes us a lot. Obviously, our concubine's still not too pleased with us. Can't imagine why. What about... Oh, that's a lady. What about this guy? Does he have a kid? He does not have a kid. He's 33, doesn't have a kid. You know what? Welcome to being the ruler of Fife. Are you smart? What are you? Indulgent, wastrel, impaler, content. Content. This is exactly the trait I want a vassal to have. Enjoy being, you deserve it, man. You've put in some great service for us over the years, and now you're going to be a fucking mayor or a duke or something. Party up. Fantastic. There's still a dangerous faction? Oh, this guy wants independence? What's wrong with this guy? Who's this? Lord Mayor. It's the same dude! My god, man. Wait, do you rule? You don't rule anything anymore. At least you shouldn't. Does that faction go away? No, it doesn't. I'm going to revoke your title, the Grand City of Lothian. You are a pain in the dick. Maybe I can go to the intrigue menu and do that again. I can't. This scares me. At the very least, at least he only has his own city. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, I'm trying to wage wars down here. Speaking of which, we're going to lower our levies. And then basically just systematically butt-fuck this dude, unless it's going to cost me an F-ton of prestige. Yep, it is, because I signed a truce, and I'm a ding-dong. How about this? Is this Northumberland? Yes, it is. So basically, we're going to declare war on him for the subjugation of England. Doesn't cost us any prestige. He's currently revolting against his liege. Oh, that's not the best timing, then. We still have, like, another 3 years. This is a lesson learned. Don't invade territory or don't accept a peace offer until war scores 100. What about this dude, the Earl of Ulster? He doesn't have a liege. We can declare war on him. We're going to declare war on fucking everybody. Get used to it. Ulster will soon belong to me. So we're just going to... I'll live talk us through this, because we still do have the possibility of civil war, which obviously I'm not a huge fan of. But it should be very easy to reach 100 war score with this dude, considering his army is going to fall to my pre-invasion force. I'm not even using my actual army to make this happen. I'm going to keep them in case civil war breaks out. So, what are my aims for the life of King Northernlion I, who is now 32 years old? Keep expanding our territory, eventually take over Scotland, stop taking these lopsided peace deals, which are slowing things down, take over Ireland, and maybe, like, we'll leave England for now, because there's a lot of powerful dudes here, but maybe move on to Wales and maybe Cornwall, well, what is now Wales, anyway. And we're going to try to make ourselves real powerful, and then after that, maybe we can branch into Europe. But first things first, just getting a kingdom, keeping it together without falling apart, ensure... Oh, wait a minute. We're being sieged right now in Dublin. Why? Who is this? Those dudes are pissed. Once they succeed there, they might actually be able to crank that war score back in their favor, which worries me a little bit, actually, but doesn't worry me enough to cause me to raise my armies, I guess. No, they must be fighting someone else. I must not have been paying attention down here. Maybe somebody else took my territory. Anyway, it seems like nobody's going to be too pissed that Ulster is getting taken over here. Ireland is basically like the stomping grounds. Oh, who's this? Countess of Ulster. I smell a new concubine. Probably shouldn't sound as pleased with that as I am. But yeah, Ireland is basically like a stomping ground in the early game here because everyone hates everyone. So kind of you can invade whoever you want and slowly take over the country piecemeal because nobody gives a shit about anybody. We could probably get to the last 2 war score we need without sieging just by taking over this army right here and destroying them. That'll at least take us to 99. No, that's 100. All right, so let's do that again and offer peace, enforce demands. Fantastic. As you can see, our prestige continues to grow. Obviously, our domain size is a little bit too big, but I've got a content vassal, which is awesome. So again, I'll just keep giving some good stuff to my son so he doesn't try to murder me. Believe it or not, that does happen from time to time. And who is our content vassal? Who is the lucky dude? It was the guy, I just made him. It wasn't Reefer. I fucking hate this dude. Don't even talk to me. Look at his tax. He's actually costing me money because he has a low opinion of me. It was this guy, right? Yeah, Chief of Fife. Well, enjoy yourself because you are now going to have this Irish county as well, which I have renamed to something that I cannot pronounce. Congratulations, my friend. Why is my opinion of him 0? I like this guy a lot. I wish I could manually alter that. And you know what? Since we're still... We cut out a little bit of this episode for editing. Why don't we take over Orkel as well? Steve Orkel. And... or sorry, that's Oriel. My bad. And this should allow us to kind of create like a region where we can always pass through the land to... It's just continuous boundaries. Is a good way to put it, or contiguous boundaries. I hate the borders where we got like it all segmented and we got some down here. I would rather have like one obvious kind of like large land, if that makes sense. So we'll do a little bit more sieging and then we'll probably end this episode. And by the time we finish conquering a little bit of Ireland, we should basically be at the point where we can attack Scotland again, which is good. And you know what? As we're doing this with our pre-invasion force, yes, that's being eroded a little bit, so we're losing like troops that would come to our aid in that conquest for Scotland, which we want to do. But at the same time, we're allowing our troops to build up a little bit because a lot of them died in that civil war that we had and whatnot. So we are spreading out a little bit here. This is a little bit slower than I usually play as the Pagans, and I could be going much, much faster. But again, definitely should not have taken those peace offers that contained hidden terms about truces, which I really don't give a shit about. Okay, what's going on here? This is like a Christianity prompt, basically like some dude who works for King Constantine, who is the Scottish king. He's coming in here to preach Christianity, so we're going to say, we could tell us more of God, which would cause Christianity to maybe spread a little bit, or we could tell him that there's horrors to this life, too. I mean, we could convert to Christianity. You know, historically, I guess that's what Clovis did, but I think he was Frankish, not Norse. Anyway, that's not important, but, or Constantine, I guess, as well, would be fitting enough. But I'm going to stay Norse, just to kind of get some alternate history going here. Again, if I make any historically inaccurate statements, my apologies. It's definitely not my forte. All right, so we have dragged a 6-year-old girl out of the dungeons, or sorry, out of the siege, and now she is going to become one of our prisoners. We'll probably end up sacrificing her to the gods. One thing I think they should add is definitely giving you more prestige if you sacrifice a younger prisoner. But anyway, we're going to enforce demands here. Sorry, not ransom prisoner, enforce demands. Beautiful. So now we own a lot more land. King Northernlion the Pious. Human sacrifices, butt-fucking everyone around me into submission. I have now become King Northernlion the Pious. I believe that's because we have over 1,000 piety, which is pretty remarkable. I would not have anticipated that, and that's all because we're a pagan. Okay, last thing here, before we finish this episode. We've accomplished some good stuff. We've subjugated these guys a little bit. We made a little bit of push into Ireland. We've consolidated our empire a little bit. This guy's not gaining too much traction, which is awesome. I hate that our spy master is part of this plan, but they still don't have enough to kind of declare civil war. First things first, let's try to manage that. Can I revoke that dude's asshole territory? Who is this? This is a nice dude. This is a nice dude. Nice dude. Fairly nice dude. Okay, not worrying about that then. Our domain size is too big, so we're going to do what we always do and give all of the cities to our son, basically, and all of the temples to our son, who we only barely like, but who is in love with us because I'm giving him all these territories. And then, like, Supreme Content Vassal, who is now becoming like the most powerful man in the kingdom, perhaps even more powerful than myself, is going to get the Oriel, which I just took over. So our domain size is good. Now, we have a child, Northern Lioness the First. Her name is Northern Lioness the First, Northern Lion's daughter. I love that naming convention. And we're going to educate her. And you know what? I want to marry her off to some kind of sweet king later. So we're going to educate her with Grima, who is the smartest person in our kingdom. I wonder why I can't educate my son, though. That's weird. Maybe because he's already a mayor or something? Can I? Oh, yeah, okay. We can educate him with... Again, we'll use Grima, just to make sure that he becomes as smart as possible. And I would say that's basically all we have to worry about so far on this episode of Crusader Kings. So we made some... Or Northernlion plays Crusader Kings 2, the old gods, I should say. We made some pushes into Ireland, and we can continue pushing into Ireland. We might take one more territory, or we might just turn our attention back to Scotland and Strathern, or Strathclyde. I always forget which one that's going to be, because there's like a province called Strathern or something in here. Yeah, right here. But, you know, Strathclyde doesn't worry me very much. I've now got fairly contiguous borders, which is nice. I'll take over Ireland eventually, but Sudreyar is, you know, spreading its name. In the 10 years of the in-game so far, we've made some pretty good gains. Now, our king's going to get a little older, and things might become a little risky, but definitely we are going to do some more war on the next episode. So, as always, if you enjoyed the episode, I do appreciate your support. However you see fit, even just viewing it is important to me, so thanks a lot. And I will see you guys next time. And what are we going to do next time? Thinking Scotland, maybe Strathclyde, maybe a little bit more Ireland, and if this war in Northumberland kind of continues going onwards, if they end up succeeding in their fight against Jorvik to get independence, then I will straight up just snatch their territory up. Because I don't want to fight Jorvik, but I will fight Northumberland and take territory out from under Jorvik's feet. But anyway, as always, thanks for watching, and thanks for your comments, especially constructive feedback on how I can improve my gameplay, and I will see you next time.